Welcome Pokemon Go trainers, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we are finally hitting legend with one of my favorite team of this season, which is Decidueye, Serperior and the Carbink, a kind of a grasshole team. As I was seeing lot of mud boys, so that was kind of annoying to me, lot of Wigglytuff, Azumarill, Annihilate in the high elo range. So I decided to use this team, and on the final set it just remained undefeated. Nobody was able to defeat this team. So do watch the video till end, and if you haven't subscribed the channel, please subscribe it. So first opponent we have Annihilate lead. Whenever I see it, so I'm going to dip into Decidueye. Astonish is going to do a lot of damage, and they dip into Dugong. So this tells me they have another water typing at the back. So I throw the Frenzy Plant on the CMP tie against the Icy Wind, which we win. So this is going to one shot them if they don't shield. So they decided to shield, so we are going to shield back as well, so that we can reach one more Frenzy Plant and grab the final shield. Making opponent shieldless is very good for us. So we are going to reach another Frenzy Plant. We are going to throw it immediately. This is going to one shot again, even though it's a debuff. Decidueye hits very hard, and look at the damage, it just one shotted, and we won the switch advantage. And let's see, Annihilate is going to return, so we are going to put lot of pressure with those Astonish, but Rage Fist is just going to knock us out. I decided to shield this because I don't want boosted Annihilate to face my backline. So I'm going to try to do as much damage as I can. And we go for the Spirit Shackle. This is going to knock out if they don't shield, or this might grab final shield. So they are not going to give up the final shield. And the final Pokemon is Toxapex. We have two good healthy Pokemon at the back, but still this is looking a bit difficult because Sludge Wave is super effective on our Serperior pure grass typing Pokemon. So here I decided to come with Serperior and grab the final shield, and this is going to grab the final shield, and I will try to catch a Sludge Wave on our Carbink. So opponent knows my strategy, so he didn't throw it, he overfarm a lot. Now he can spam out those Brine, but Brine is very crap move. It is not going to do that much. It is super effective, but still. So we can go for those Power Gem. We are going to reach it and throw it immediately, but before that they threw here, so that is fine, and we are still in a green health, and now they are going to put us into yellow health. So I'm going to wait for my switch timer. Once my switch timer is up, I will try to dip into Serperior, and I'm going to put him in a range where one Frenzy or maybe a Aerial should be enough to knock them out. So switch timer is going to get up, and he's going to throw a move. So after this I'm going to immediately dip into the Serperior, and it goes for the Brine. We left with few HP. Now here comes the Serperior, and I think Aerial should be enough, so I didn't overfarm. So this Aerial is going to be enough to knock out the Toxapex, and we are going to secure the win. So good game, we won this match. Let's move towards the next opponent. Let's see what the next opponent has for us. Drapion in the lead. Backline is just going to struggle against it. So usually Drapion is paired with either ground typing or the water typing. So I'm going to stay here because Carbink is extremely weak to it. So let's see what they throw. They are going to go for those Aqua Tail, and I'll go for the Power Gem. This is going to definitely grab the shield because Drapion in the shadow form is a bit glassy, and they always shield it, and they do shield here. I don't think I'm going to reach another Power Gem, or they might try to catch, so I have to throw it carefully. But the Aqua Tail damage is going to do a lot, and I think one more Aqua Tail is going to be enough. So they threw it immediately, so this is going to make them a bit dry on energy. I think I survive with 1 HP, yes, and they get 1 Poison Sting. So definitely I'm going to dip into the Decidueye, which resists the fast move but not the charge move. So I have to shield everything, whatever they throw. This could be a bait, but they didn't go for it. They go for the crunch, and here comes the Dugong, as I said. So we are going to full send the Frenzy Plant and one shot them, and I think I might dip here. And actually they don't shield, so I'm going to stay here, and I think we'll shield this and just farm them down so that we can get some energy head start. Even though it's going to debuff us, our switch timer is not locked. I can dip into Serperior at any point of time, but before that I'm going to save our energy on the Decidueye. So I stored a Frenzy and then I dip into the Serperior, and unfortunately they reach a charge move. Definitely this is crunch, and I think it will lower our defense. One Vine Whip is going to enough, and here comes the Azumarill. So we have to generate back-to-back Frenzy Plant before throwing, because one will grab the shield and another one will put him in a range where a stored Frenzy Plant on the Decidueye will be enough to knock them out. So I get back to back. Actually I threw Aerial here. I got nervous actually. So they shielded, that's good. And opponent realizes that Decidueye is going to win the CMP. so he's going to top left. So good game, we won this match. Next match, Dugong lead. So it's a kind of a good lead and we are going to stay here. One power gem is going to do a lot of damage. I think it might one shot them after those rock throw, but still we have to be very careful for the catch as well. So they will go for the drill run, super effective damage, and we are going to stay here and going to overfarm a bit and then throw. So this power gem is just going to one shot them, and after this I might dip into other Pokemon just to save the health. And one more rock throw was required, actually they survived. And here comes the Wigglytuff, so it is kind of a tough to call it. So here I dip into Serperior and they dip into Talonflame, but still it is looking bit difficult because the fast move on Decidueye, which is Astonish, is resisted because of those normal typing on the Wigglytuff. And I think I should have dipped into Decidueye instead of Serperior, because Serperior can take those charm damage very easily rather than the Decidueye. So I went for the Irrelaces and putting them bit low. I don't think I'm going to reach another one, but I have very healthy Carbink, so it can survive those Brave Bird or even a Fly. So I decided to no shield. I think they have double up on the move, one Brave Bird and the Fly. And here I decided to shield so that I can grab a shield back. So he's going to go for the Fly and one rock throw is going to enough to knock them out. So I'm going to reach a power gem. I'm going to throw it immediately. This is going to grab the shield and hopefully they are in a range where one frenzy is going to be enough. So my win con is generate back-to-back frenzy, but before that they reach Icy Wind. That's very unfortunate. It is going to debuff me, but still Decidueye is just a hard hitter. So we are going to overfarm a lot and I'm going to throw just before we reach back-to-back frenzy plant and a charm sneaks. So let's see what he's going to do. I think he will shield here, but opponent for some reason didn't shield and one more Astonish, actually two Astonish, simultaneous KO, and we are going to secure the win. Maybe he was trying to call a Spirit Shackle bait. And another lead, Wigglytuff. So I was seeing this team everywhere. Whenever I see Wigglytuff, definitely there is a Mud Boy and the Drifloon at the back. So here I try to throw a rock throw just before we reach a Moonblast and they definitely shield, and after this I will wait for them to throw an energy so that I can dip Decidueye, so that this way we can bait out the Drifloon, which can be threatening for the Serperior. And let's see, they go for the Icy Wind. Now it's time for Decidueye and definitely they are going to dip into the Drifloon. So I waited, I thought he's not going to dip and I threw the Frenzy Plant and they catch it. Very good catch by the opponent, but still this Frenzy Plant is just going to take half of the health, almost half of the health of this Shadow Drifloon, and Astonish damage has put them in a range where I can just rock throw them down. So I think this should be a Icy Wind. I decided to no shield. I will save both the shield for the Serperior and they go for the Icy Wind. Rock throw is enough and he's going to wait for the full switch timer, which is very good. I'm going to immediately dip into Serperior and here comes the Gastrodon and he meets with Serperior, and now this is a top left movement for the opponent and he does it. So good game, we won this match. Actually in this set I needed 4-1 but I got 5-0, which is very good. And here comes the Malamar in the lead and they just top left. Maybe they didn't have any answer for our Carbink. So this is 5-0 set and we are going to hit the legend, and after this we are going to do one more set so that we can get a Pikachu Libre. So let's see what this 5-0 get to us, and it gets 3041 elo, the highest elo of this season. Now it's time to do another set. So we are going to continue with the same team and we are going to lead with Carbink and we see a Skarmory. So let's see what he's going to do, what he's running, and he immediately I think swaps into Swampert. I'm trying to swap and look at that, I catch a move. Actually I was not intentionally catching it, I was trying to swap out but still it didn't work. You can see me tapping on Serperior, it didn't work, but when I tap into Decidueye it worked very well, and here I'm clicking on a charge move, still it is not registering. Now I am forced to shield this move. This is Hydro Cannon, but still Decidueye is very glassy. I'm going to overfarm a bit and then go for the Spirit Shackle. This is going to knock out the Swampert and I have a one more Spirit Shackle. I think two more Astonish will be required. Actually they shield here, so definitely we are going to give up the final shield. I want to win this matchups so that we have an alignment and we just farm them down. So we have Spirit Shackle ready And here we go. So that's why they dip into the Swampert immediately, because they are not running Steel Wing. Instead, they are running Air Slash, which is resisted on the Carbink. So we are going to come with Carbink, and final Pokemon is another Mud Boy, which is Whiscash, immediately dipping into Serperior, and this is a top left movement for them. So let's move towards the next opponent. Let's see what the next opponent has. Annihilate in the lead. We are going to do the same thing. Dip into Decidueye, and this time they are staying, and then dip into the Bastiodon. So it's a good thing we baited out the Bastiodon, but still Decidueye can put a lot of work here, because Astonish and those Frenzy Plant hits very hard. So we are going to go for the first Frenzy Plant, and look at the damage. Almost half of the health is gone. We go for the second one. This might grab the shield if they want to. So let's see what happens. And they are going to shield this. So I knew it. So just to make them shieldless, I'm going to shield this, and we are going to reach another Frenzy Plant and threaten the final shield, which will be very good for us. And we are going to reach the Frenzy, and this is going to knock out the Bastiodon, the very bulky Pokemon. But we have hard hitting Decidueye, and look at that, they shielded the move, which is good for us. Now we can farm them down with a Carbink. So opponent knows my strategy, so he dipped into the Annihilate, but still I can reach a Moonblast without investing a shield. So they are going to go for Rage Fist. They might reach to a close combat, but I think still I will survive this. So I'm about to reach a Moonblast and one shot them, going for this and losing a CMP tie. I think this could be a Rage Fist, but that is fine. It is going to be survived, and one Moonblast is not going to be survived by the Annihilate. This is going to one shot, and after this I'm going to immediately dip into Serperior, and we have one shield left in case Bastiodon throws a flamethrower. So immediately dipping, and they are waiting for the switch timer, and the final Pokemon is a Mud Boy, and this is going to be a top left moment for them. So good game. So now we need one more win to get a Pikachu Libre, another Wigglytuff lead. So I'm guessing I have to bait out the Driflim now. So we are going to do the same thing. Just before we reach a Moonblast, we are going to throw Power Gem and grab the shield. So we go for it, and this Power Gem is definitely going to grab the shield. But this trainer has something else planned, or maybe he knows my strategy. This high elo player always knows your strategy, what you are going to do. So they are going to go for Icy Wind, and after this I'll dip. So he's going to throw the Icy Wind, and here we come with the Decidueye, and they stay, and unfortunately they reach a Icy Wind. So definitely I'm going to invest the shield so that I can have an alignment later. So they go for the Icy Wind. One Astonish knocks them out, and let's see what is going to come. He comes with Driflim, as I said. So this team was very common from 2800 to 3000 elo range. So I'm going to go for Spirit Shackle. They are not shielding, they get the defense drop. I can reach one more, which is very good. This is going to pressure the shield, and I think they have a Shadow Ball loaded. So we'll go for the Spirit Shackle, and this also gives me a defense drop. Very lucky. So I'm going to invest my final shield, guessing that final Pokemon is Mud Boy, and they go for the Shadow Ball. Very good call. And the final Pokemon is not a Mud Boy but a spicy Pokemon, Fosterus. So I went for the Power Gem and grabbed the final shield, and here I'm going to try to catch an Earthquake on the Serperior. After throwing one fast move, I went into Serperior, but they were very smart. They didn't throw here, so they are going to go for those Rock Tomb, and Rock Tomb is very annoying move because it debuffs your attack every time they throw. So I have to go for the Irelis. So my win con is make them bit low until the switch timer gets up, store a move, then dip into the Carbink. So this Irelis is doing nothing, but we are not going to give up. We are going to put up a fight. So they are going to go for another Rock Tomb, and another debuff comes up, and I think switch timer is going to get up. So we are going to overfarm a bit, and I think I have generated almost a back to back. I think one more Vine Whip is required. So after this I will dip and try to catch a move, but opponent didn't throw, and I can reach a move here, and they didn't catch, and this is a win con for me. Now the Carbink is going to close out the game very easily. So Power Gem is just going to one shot, and one more Rock Throw is going to be enough to knock out the Driflim, and we are going to secure the win. And we have 3 wins in this set, so I'm going to easily claim the reward and claim this Pikachu Libre. Thank you for watching this video till end. If you enjoy this content at any point of time, please don't forget to subscribe the channel. It supports me. Also leave a like and comment. Till the time, take care trainers, have a good day. Bye.